Welcome to Musée d'Art Moderne de la Ville de Paris. Welcome to the exhibition Co-workers, the network as artists. We are embedded in these personalized networks, and the networks, they make up the person.
We were actually, it all just kind of began with our fascination with Pinterest, this social shopping site, in which people kind of, it's a really fascinating model because actually it promotes a kind of consumerism without consumption. And we got very fascinated with the pin boards that were dedicated to interior design and renovation, and even more specifically, bathrooms and kitchens, as they sort of, they take all these natural resources together and then they kind of create a sort of aesthetic ideal to them. And it was through this sort of research and fascination with these hyper-real spaces, that were online, that we were, collecting on our desktops, at that point, where we saw that there was almost no difference between a rendering and a photograph, and we wanted to kind of, we were very fascinated, but this specifically came together because I guess Google was tracking everything we were doing, and we kind of got into this sort of feedback loop, and the Google Analytics started feeding us ads, and one of the ads was for the kitchen of Giselle and Tom Brady, and I guess they have Dornbracht fixtures in their home, and there was a small credit line that brought us to your website, which blew us away, because it kind of embodied this sort of philosophy of the Biotechnosphere, which I guess we'll get to, in which, you're not just a company that creates faucets, you're actually creating raindrops, and you're performing water and all the language around it. We became fascinated, and we wanted to kind of adopt that psyche and work with you.
Actually, they take everything away what we are conditioned with: high, low, rich, poor, glamorous, non-glamorous. There's something where everything becomes equal in a way. And they have shown me a collage of images which I have with my team developed for Dornbracht, but they collage them in a very unexpected way. So as we always, we're very rigid in a way, it has to function. There you have the bathroom, and there you have the kitchen. And those spaces, they don't belong together.
And I just have to say, that is basically what the piece is. It's a merger of bathroom and kitchen. Yeah.
Exactly. You will see here a horizontal shower. It's a very democratic workship, because you were working so much about networking, and it really felt co-working. It was really like this. And I think because we both have experienced in the last 20 years so many interesting sessions with artists, so I would say we are quite open-minded. But here, this was the next wave. This was the next step, because it was really not that you sponsor something. We were involved, and
you normally see that as two separate spaces, whereas the bathroom is a more private space, and the kitchen
is a more social space.
Is a more social space, like in a party where everybody ends up in the kitchen.
Because it goes back to intimacy, publicity.
It's the idea of utopia moving towards the bathroom and the kitchen. We were really fascinated with how these spaces were kind of like its relationship with nature, and how it's kind of this very condensed infrastructure of resources that are in both the kitchen and the shower. So we wanted to kind of create this hybrid and condense them.
So we can really have the resources to think about new ideas, to think about the evolution of society, to think about the evolution of products, which are probably or hopefully then also very, very sustainable. Luxury means also freedom of having resources and intellectual resources, not only material resources. Intellectual resources which we hope to invest for the future of our products, as well as interior design, as well as architecture in that regard. So I think really that a lot of ideas are being created on a high-end level maybe, and then they are democratized. And if we are the first really to think about new ideas, then we give at least the markets the chance to really take these ideas and democratize them, meaning to make them into mass products.
maybe it is kind of a new religion, sustainability, in which you just believe and you want to do good, you know, even if you know that there will be no effect of it, you know. And this island, in a way, I mean, it could be a prototype because, you know, in fact, condensing these resources makes it more efficient.
It's interesting as well to take maybe sustainability in the context of your own body. So signs of our time that you need to perform, and this is how we started as well, thinking about how we manage water, how we bring water in a different way into the architectural context, that people understand that it's not only taking a shower, it's actually more, it's like really rejuvenating yourself in a world who becomes a little bit more stressy. To remind ourselves as well in a way that even if we speed up, that it's important as well to find moments, areas where you can rejuvenate, where you can step out of a little bit. This kind of merging, this is something which says a lot about our time and says a lot about a generation who is understanding or feels that all this kind of digital data is their second nature.
When we talk about, the title, Biotechnosphere, I think this is already showing that this is, merging more and more together, that actually, our biosphere, which is what Mike said, also, our body, and technology, really, in regards to infrastructure, resources, products as well, that we think that we have to look for new ways, really, of the human being, the human individual, benefiting, from some merging trends. And when we talk about body, I think the most important asset of our body is really our own health. To find ways of how does health actually, and healthness, and the trend towards healthness, beauty as well, does affect us as a company. And it has not affected us only by designing some products, like this one, which is really not only an architectural merging of bathroom and kitchen. So this is an inspiration to follow this trend further of finding merging possibilities between technology and our own human body to create, hopefully, or to maintain our health and create something positive out of that.
We try to call the bathroom ritual architecture.
It depends on to the extent to which you think about the future, whether you're thinking about these things, what the individual might be like in the future. Are you making it for workers? Are you making it for people who have a lot of leisure?
What I know is that it is our task, amongst many others, to create more consciousness about our own health and our own health lifestyle. We inspire the individual to think more about health. And I think smartification will help us in certain regards to deliver the resources, the tools, technology tools, to create a better biosphere.
Yeah.
I think we all experience the fact that culture and technology is like running away from us, but at the same time, I think there's a certain knowledge that, those same products that are being, sold to us are actually being created by us. Micro niches and narrow casting and all this kinds of things. DIS has always strove to have a kind of radical receptivity to the present, because a lot of the text it was talking about, it was like water and data as the oil of the 21st century, and water is not a human right, but connectivity is somehow, So all these things, I don't think that the present moment could be weirder or stranger or more futuristic.
Yeah, it's very difficult to comprehend, and this is why we're here actually with this project, because it helps us. But it helps us to stimulate our discussion. We have to think about what is the future, what is going to give us the right, channels we have to look at. Project for us in gaining more knowledge, hopefully more knowledge about the future. We want to survive, we want to be there, we want to take part, we want to influence, to drive evolution, everything. What I think the island here is just one mosaic stone of this future.
Somehow, by nature, I think certain things clear up a little bit. But if you're always afraid of it, then you always block it, and then it becomes a kind of a stress. We talk about future, but future is happening now already. I think it's an excuse. Future is not now. So we take it, we cross the bridge when we're there. So, and I think we have to face it actually. And so therefore I think, and if I believe if you need, or let's say future is based on trust, then we have to make sure that I trust in certain developments. Survival of the fittest maybe is now survival of the smartest, but smart being, you have to give a lot of data away to get data as well. It's this kind of given and taking.
We think that we can develop ideas which have this effect on maybe other manufacturers take this and say, yeah, that's an idea for the mass market.
I mean, it's not, your democratization of mass products has made the world more unequal. So how does that go together?
Definition of unequalness is certainly a matter of discussion.
It's also a question of like, what is evil? Things are there. We really embody, you know, a kind of like hypocritical, paradoxical world. You know, critique is not some kind of applied layer on top, like by like some professionals who know how to critique something. You know, it's actually it's in all of us. It's in the body of the public.
The public has to live out these problems itself, confronted with the work.
And we do it every day with every decision we make.
This is an evolutional step in a way. So, you know, so the story goes on. And I saw, because he knew working with me in Dornbracht, he would get this kind of aesthetics they were looking for, but actually is not the reference anymore to the old world, is something to the now.